listen close. This is your brain on skills, listen close. And how we represent the real, listen close. This is your brain on skills, listen close. And how we represent the real. Yeah, definitely represent the 9 to the 5.
All right, so let's talk about Gervonta Davis, because Gervonta Davis just recently called out Devin Haney, which is very surprising. This is what he had to say. I'd be open to fight Devin Haney. He just wants to redeem himself. It will be a good fight for sure. That's kind of bizarre that he's calling out Devin Haney, because Gervonta Davis, when he was in when Devin Haney was in 135 pounds, he was trying to make that fight happen with Gervonta Davis, but Gervonta didn't want it. And now he's calling him out. But I always said, and people just don't listen, and one of the reasons why people don't listen is because they are sold to the media narrative that a fighter has to be undefeated. That's the most important thing in boxing, to be undefeated. Look at the money, look at all this. But when you look at the old school boxers like Ezra Charles, you look like Harry Greve, you look at boxers like Sugar Ray Robinson, Henry Armstrong, just name them, Tony Canzoneri. There's so many of them that were not undefeated, and they were exceptional and the best, that, in my opinion, much better than any of the boxers that came from the 60s up. And I can debate anyone on that based upon history. But now he's calling Devin Haney. So Gervonta Davis never fought Gary Russell Jr. That would have been a great fight. When he was at 130 pounds, he literally avoided Vasily Lomachenko. There was like, there's no question he avoided Vasily Lomachenko at 130 pounds. He could have actually fought against Tevin Farmer. And Tevin Farmer is the type of opponent, as you can see now in his fights, that he'll take any fight. And Gervonta Davis didn't want to take that fight for one reason or another. And in 135 pounds, he doesn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. He doesn't want to fight Devin Haney. And the reason why is because he is limited with his style. If he believed in himself, he would fight Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. But he allowed Devin Haney to leave to the next division, even though he went up one weight class, with a rehydration class, of course, to fight Mario Barrios. Because when it's Mario Barrios, oh yeah, I'll take the fight. But if it's Devin Haney, then, he's complicated. He doesn't want to. See, Gervonta Davis doesn't want to say he's a runner, because he will be accusing Floyd Mayweather Jr. of doing the same thing. But I don't believe in boxing there's such thing as running. When you're in a boxing ring, if you've seen any fights or you've been involved in boxing, that's just part of whatever style you have. Boxers who have less power, they have to box. You're not going to brawl against somebody who's stronger than you physically. I mean, you got to be mentally, to do that. Not very smart. So that's why you use boxing. That's where there's points in boxing. You have to use points to fight. And the boxers who have power, they're going to knock you out. So in the case of Gervonta Davis, why didn't you call Devin Haney when he was trying to activate the mandatory of the WBA, and he told he told Coach Calvin, hey, activate the mandatory, the WBA mandatory. We'll fight you. You could have been undisputed and take the fight. So what does that mean to me? That this guy is Gervonta. I mean, he is kind of like out there, He doesn't want to fight anybody. So what's the point? And I believe if he would have fought all these fighters that I'm talking about, Gary Russell Jr., he would have fought Tevin Farmer, Vasily Lomachenko, 130 pounds, or Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, he at least would have lost against two of them. But because a lot of the so-called boxing fans today, which are not boxing fans. They're, they're like divas. They care about the money. They care about all this weird stuff that makes no sense, like escorts. They're like escorts. That's what they are. They care about the money and all that weird stuff. Only thing that anything that an escort would like, that's what they like. They care about the financial status of a boxer. Oh, he has the right to avoid somebody. He can avoid you. He can avoid. While they stick a finger in there and they suck their thumbs praising fighters like these. I mean, this is the reason why boxing is destroyed. Because you're praising a boxer who's not willing to risk and take fights. The best fighters always lost, man. They always lost. And now we're in this diva generation where now Gervonta Davis wants to fight Devin Haney. Well, why didn't you fight him when he was undefeated? You care about undefeated, right? So it is what it is. But sad to say, but Gervonta Davis really messed up his career because he could have had actually a good legacy had he taken many of these fights, win or lose. But he didn't take the fights that he should have. And now we're here. And now a lot of people are criticizing him when I was saying this for years. And he's, Gervonta Davis is another Canelo Alvarez, just in, 130 pounds. The same thing. It's just 35 pounds. Okay, same guy. It's just same diva, same guy. All right. So anyway, that's all I have to say. But I do wish that fight happens. But if he fights him, you'll probably give Devin Haney a rehydration clause. That's what Gervonta Davis does. That's what he used to. Just like Canelo, that's what they do. So anyway, that's just what it is. So I hope Devin Haney does take the fight if he can. But if he can't blame him. I mean, he might not be able to make weight at this point. So, and Gervonta Davis is definitely not going to go up to 140 pounds without giving Devin Haney a rehydration clause to have some sort of advantage, like he needs to win. All right. Peace out. Give us a like, subscribe, and become part of our community here in Golden Era. We love boxing here. We're real boxing fans here. So don't mess up. Don't get this twisted, buddy. We like boxing here. So anyway, see you later.